Hey YouTube land, it's Tyconders here doing another action figure review, and this time it's for the deluxe or mega gear King Shark figure from DC, from Spinmasters. Now this is a new company that's taking over from Mattel for doing the DC license. So now before I proceed, I just want to say that as a disclaimer, these videos are intended for collectors over the age of 13 plus. People like myself that enjoy Batman and enjoy collecting figures and don't mind collecting figures that are, even though they're more kind of comic-y looking, but they do look decent on a shelf. So this is the King Shark set. Now there's two King Shark figures as far as I'm aware of. There is this one, and then there's an exclusive, as far as I know, that has the Hammerhead. I think it's Target exclusive. I could be wrong. It could be a Walmart exclusive in the States. It hasn't hit over here in Ireland. I don't know if there's any exclusives for the European market, but over here we have this one. And what this one comes with is pretty sweet. It comes with this big shark backpack. It reminds me a lot of, now I can't remember the character's name, but there was the guy from Turtles that had a kind of similar motif. And you can see this part can either be left up like this, but it is loose and it comes down. But before I go on about the figure, here is the packaging. So it comes in a bigger blister packaging than the standard figures. If I just bring in the standard figure box, bear with me a moment, you can see it's about half the size of this one because the figure is displayed completely in this. The figure is on one side and the backpack piece is separate to them, so they didn't combine them inside it. And then you have transforms, King Shark Mega Gear Equipment Mega Equipo, and you have two images in the corner. You have Creature Chaos up in the corner, which seems to be the subline for this particular series. So this is Batman the Cape Crusader King Shark. So the gimmick is the same as the Batman one, so if I just bring the Batman one in for a second, I don't have Batman in it. Let me just get it to connect together. So I did review the Batman one. I might put a link to in the description below for that video. So basically there's a trigger mechanism. When you hit the trigger mechanism, it does that, and the bat glider looks really cool because it looks like the big bat symbol. Kind of reminds me of the Batwing in the Tim Burton Batman film, when it flies up to the moon and you can see the silhouette of the bat symbol. Anyway, King Shark has a similar feature, so this is what it looks like when it's all stored away. You hit the button and it basically folds out. You have this big armoured shark head, which is on a spring. You have these parts that are on a spring, and if I just unplug the figure from the set, just get this. So it has lots of paint apps. It has like a tail piece to it, which is kind of cool. Now the way it works is when you're folding these back, you're supposed to fold these up at the same time, because there's little tabs here, and there's a similar tab here on the piece, so that when they click into place, it holds these up. When I first got it, I thought you can leave them down just like that, it doesn't make a difference, but what you're supposed to do is click those up like this, and then click that into place as well. So sometimes they tend to pop out, so if you just click it all into place, you can leave this piece down over his head as I shown, and then just show it again from this side. It presses this button here and it flips everything out, and he has these big blades with not sure if they're machine guns or flamethrowers, but they're some sort of weaponry. Now unfortunately, when he is in this, you can't really put the weapons up because they're on a spring as well, and there's no articulation point on here. It would have been cool if you could move this all the way up, but you can't. What you could do is you can just kind of jam them under his hand, just to have him hold them up, so you have them up a bit, but they just intend to flop down when he's not actually holding it. So For the figure itself, it's quite a nice sculpt. You can see, as far as I know, everything on this figure is the exact same as the single card one, except for here. You can see where they attach the head onto the body. The other one has a hammerhead style shark as opposed to the great white type head. So articulation on this guy is a little bit more limited than a standard figure. Sorry, bear with me a moment. So he has no neck articulation, he has no waist, nothing in the torso. He has the standard ball joints on the shoulders, can go all the way around, can go up that much. He has a standard elbow, single elbow with a swivel. Here is where he kind of falls flat, quite literally, is without his backpack supporting him up, he's very front heavy and tends to just flop onto the ground. I'm not sure if it's what they were intending to do. It's very kind of awkward. I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen, but his feet are actually sort of angled, so his feet aren't flat at the very front, they actually bend up a bit. So when you have his feet on the ground, they tend to roll, or he tends to roll forward. And the sad thing about this, he has leg articulation for forward and back, and he has swivels, or he has a swivel up at the thigh, but they omitted any ankle articulation, unlike some of the other single cardeds, like Joker here, he has an ankle with a swivel on it. They left that out on him. I think that was a big mistake because he tends to be, like, you can even see it there hopefully, that his leg tends to bend up from the ankle. It goes at an angle instead of being flat, and because his head is so heavy and it points out a good bit over his chest, makes him front heavy, and he just flops. He does have peg holes, so if you have something with a, if I just move this back a bit, do I have one here? These are the Fortnite stands that come with some of the figures. Give me a moment. See if we can find one that has a peg hole on it. This one has a peg hole. Yeah. You can stand them in one of those. But it just means you have to put him in a stand. If he has the backpack on, let's say if you have it either in the enclosed mode, he stands perfectly fine because the backpack is so heavy and has that extra support, it holds him up. So it is a bit annoying. And then just for one other interesting piece, this is the gun that came with the Batman set, the Batman tactical suit set. It's basically the one that's supposed to, oh well, I'm not sure if it's intended for Batman. It looks kind of weird. It looks like it's intended for characters like King Shark here, who has a bigger, kind of wider grip, because the handle is actually a good bit bigger than the standard figures. Even if I bring in Joker here, you can see it stretches his hand out a bit when you have it in his hand. So I'm pretty sure these are intended for someone like Man-Bat or King Shark here, because their grip, if we can get it into his other hand, tends to be a little bit wider, and it looks kind of like it's designed for him. I could be wrong, but he looks good with it either way. And so if you have that accessory, you can give it to King Shark here, and he looks good with it. I'd say Killer Croc would even look just as good with this one as well. So, because I think Killer Croc is actually a bigger figure just like them. I'm not sure. I hope they didn't reuse the same leg sculpt for Killer Croc, because otherwise he'll have a hell of a time standing. But if you have this thing in his hand, yeah, you can kind of use it as a tripod and get in the stand. So, and then just for some scale comparison, here he is with Batman. So he does stand a little bit taller than Batman with his fin. Here is one of the other Batman figures, and let's just bring Joker back in as well, and so you can see the height of all these figures together. So overall, it's not a bad figure. I do think it is a shame that the ankle, or there's no knee articulation to give him that extra stability. If you don't have anything underneath him, he just, as I said, just flops over. So just be wary of that. Otherwise, it's not a bad looking figure. It's a good representation for a 4-inch scale King Shark. I don't think there's ever been another 4-inch scale King Shark. The only one I can think of was the Builder figure, which was part of the Multiverse 6-inch line. You could get away with that being King Shark if he was like oversized, but other than that, this guy is supposed to be intended for a 4-inch line. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review, and as I say in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.